How do you recognize when you're missing out on your own life? Every time you go for what you want, it falls flat. Or you feel a pang of deep guilt and you have no idea as to the reason why. Why does that happen? Why would you feel that way? It doesn't make any logical sense. Surely everyone can go for the life that they actually want. The big question is, where did this programming come from? Why is it that you feel guilty for going anywhere near what you really want? And should you keep that programming? In this episode, we are resolving, am I selfish to want my own life? And you'll discover why obstacles jump in your way, why you're overwhelmed with guilt when things do work out, and what your responsibilities really are. First, you need to recognize what your own life looks like, because obstacles keep jumping in your way. And when that happens, it leaves you feeling very confused and eventually takes you into a space of feeling it's just too hard and frustrating to go for what you really want. It's easier to stick with what you know. You then feel unlucky and life doesn't have enough of those want to or meant to be moments. You feel somehow torn between a world of what you want and what you feel you're allowed. Obstacles jump in your way of your life path, especially your career path, because of one key area. And that one key area is previous conditioning. So think of how that works. Think of how society has been for many, many years in the past. What has it been? What have been the traditional ways of looking at things? Well, most cultures, men, providers, women, nurturers. This unconscious programming, and it is programming, has been present and reinforced for many, many generations. Think of female relatives who wanted to break the mold and provide, or the male relative who wanted to nurture. What would have happened to them if they'd done those things? What would have happened to those people? Most likely, if you think about it, they would have been ostracized. As you feel that in your world today, that idea of being ostracized, you'll still take a gulp. And that gulp is fear. Not if you're capable of stepping into your own life, but if you're actually allowed. So why are you overwhelmed with guilt? Why would you be feeling guilty for any of this? It doesn't make logical sense in the modern world. It doesn't make logical sense. Surely you can do what you want. We live in an abundant, free society. We have more opportunity now than at any other time in history. So why the guilt? You feel guilty because you're worried you're not adhering to the unconscious rules, those set by your male ancestors, but not necessarily enforced by them, enforced by the females. Men are the deciders, whilst women are the responders. It's unladylike, for instance, to put your needs first. Women of the past were there to take care of the male, and the male was considered weak if he wasn't in charge. Being in charge of your own life, therefore, means you're selfish and out of sync with survival according to your ancestral past. So what are your true responsibilities? How does that shape in your life? Well, the key is to step out of trying to be perfect. What I found I got sucked into for a long time was pleasing everyone but myself. You end up trying to fit in with others to avoid the possibility of judgment. It doesn't work because you end up with no personal boundaries when you do that. Molding to what were the rules of the past, yet craving your own chosen life, means that you're not moving into anything. You're not in alignment with the past, and you're not really in alignment with who you are. So what are 3 little things you can do to minimize feeling guilty for putting yourself first? Well, the first one is you can mentally question when obstacles surface, if they are real obstacles or they are a fear of disapproval. When you assess from this perspective, it keeps your inner communication open, keeps it realistic and locked out of other people's opinion, so you have a clear idea of your own. Number 2, before you tell others a plan that is really important to you, write down all the possible objections. And I say write because then it comes out of your head into something that you can see before you. Then let yourself feel your way through those objections. Why? Because when the objections surface in real life, when you talk to people about plans that are important to you, you'll be 10 times less defensive, making it much easier for you to sidestep any manipulation from someone who's used to using your misplaced guilt to get what they want. And number 3, very simple. Practice no. It's a boundary. It will take a few goes, but you will feel you can minimize feeling guilty for putting yourself first. Remember, it's not about perfect, it's about progress. Would you like me to help you more as far as that's concerned? Well, the meditation accompanying this episode will fast track you out of feeling guilty for putting yourself first. So give the Releasing Overwhelm When I'm Not Perfect meditation a go now, because you don't make logical decisions around feeling guilty. You make illogical decisions based on unwanted, unconscious beliefs, which have been stored in the body for many years, decades, centuries even. As Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This meditation will help you undo those unwanted, unconscious beliefs, just like that. Do it by releasing the stored energy in your body. Even if you've never done a meditation before, it's fine, just follow the words. You have time. There is always time for something this important. Okay? So now you've looked at the guilt preventing you from your own path. The next step is knowing where you fit in, is to understand the unconscious role that you play. You play a role that you didn't choose, and you haven't known it's there to decide if you even agree with it or not. So how do you know what the role you play in life is, and how do you change it? Guess what the next episode does? It addresses what's my role. So make sure you set a reminder now to join me for the next session, which I will release on Saturday at 4 p.m. UK time, and will then be in the comments for an hour from 4:30 p.m. Share this episode if you know someone who feels this, who feels that they are wondering if they are too selfish when they really want to move towards their own life, their own ideas and their own ways of doing things, their own creative output. If you feel you know someone who you feel that this would be helpful to, share it, pass it on, because they'll be very pleased that you did. So go now and listen to the free meditation, which is Releasing Overwhelm When I'm Not Perfect. If you don't already have access to it, you can download a copy for free at heidisawyer.com/8, not the written words, the number 8, heidisawyer.com/8. Do it now, because then you're not allowing the limitation of perfection to get in your way. We believe your capacity for empathy gives you a unique perspective. The way we help you access your uniqueness is through developing your intuition, your inner world. When you allow yourself this part of you, life is easy. So go now and listen to the powerful meditation. And always remember, your sensitivity is your greatest asset. Till next time, bye for now.